Golf can be a very complicated game. A lot of moving pieces, trying to figure out the golf swing. It's confusing. There's a lot of different tips saying many different things. If you learn how to eliminate variables in your golf swing, then your golf swing gets a lot easier, it gets more powerful. And today what I'm going to share with you is all of my experience in the golf swing world, and having gone through tons of ups and downs and almost quitting the game. I'm going to share a way of swinging that is much easier on your body. I'm going to share what I wish I would have learned years ago, how I wish I would have started playing this game instead of having to go through the mess of figuring things out. So here's how I wish I would have learned the golf swing. Looking back, and what I know now, the most important things in golf, what are truly fundamental to playing this game well? The first thing is contact. I've got to master contact. So when I get over this ball and I swing, I've got to be darn sure that I can hit the ball first and take a nice crispy divot after it. And do that without a whole lot of thinking. Your best golfers in the world all strike the ball first and take a divot after it. Taking a divot is a must, because if you want to truly be a great golfer, and yes you do, that's why you're here, you've got to hit the ball in the center of the club face. If you hit it anywhere around the face, you're going to lose distance and control, and the best golfers hit it on the center repeatedly because this allows them to have great distance control. So we're hitting the ball close to the flag. I know how far my clubs are going to go, so I can make more birdies and pars. So a great golfer has to understand to strike the ball first and take a divot. So learning the things of great contact. There's a lot of different philosophies out there, but we're gonna just take philosophy out of it and work with laws. Physics and geometry are laws. And when we do these things, they will happen. So, first lesson I wish I had on contact was this: setting the weight forward. I wish I would just set the weight on the front side. And this alone, if I just did this and swung, I would see a huge return on my investment. So I'm setting my hips more forward with more weight on the front side, and if I just swing and I kept it forward, I finish with my weight forward, then I have 1,000,000% more chance of striking that ball well. And why? Because contact has nothing to do with timing. No, great golfers don't time. We don't have time to time. Instead, golfers know that they have to be stable. They got to eliminate variables. This is a variable: shifting, swaying of any kind, variable. So with the weight forward, my head in place, and if I swing, there's my contact. Versus if I was somebody who just swayed around. You know, Elvis was doing blue suede shoes. Well, golf suede swing is, it's a mess. And I did just miss that ball. So that's why my first lesson, if I would have just focused on this, weight forward, I would have played some much better golf, and it would have saved me years of headache and heartbreak hotel. Another thing I wish I had in that first lesson was getting my elbows closer together with the weight forward. So I'm setting up with a lot more weight forward here. You notice I'm really working on this. Why? It's a foundation of great contact. Arms straight, contact. This is a must. This is a will happen thing. I go weight forward, arms straight. There's the contact. A lot of people will say, hey, there isn't one way to swing. Well, there are laws. And because there are laws, there is one optimal way to swing. And that is, I have to abide by these laws to play great golf. I can't just make stuff up here. Or I'm just guessing. There's no guessing here. I don't guess. I'm pretty darn sure. Newton figured this stuff out, and then we just turned it into laws. I'm not the genius who created gravity. God did that. I just figure out how we can do this time and time again, is we do the things that make sense. Hey, does it work with a driver? Well, yeah. That person who always comments, does it work with a driver? Yeah, because contact with the driver matters, doesn't it? You can't hit the driver far if you don't hit it on the center. I can't expect to hit it on the center if I'm swaying, because watch, if I sway back and then I have to shift through, well, where this hits will change. Low on the face, high on the face. So if I shift back and I hit from back here, I'm hitting up a lot and I'm hitting low on the face. Distance is already gone, I'm losing it. I'm losing distance right there. I want it here. So by keeping centered over the ball with my arms straight, I give myself the best chance of right there, centered contact with the driver. So I'll just focus on that. And I'm gonna swing, even with the way forward arm straight, I'm gonna do this. I'm still gonna rifle one. No shift, centered. And how much effort was that? It was minimal effort to hit that ball and bomb it. So first lesson is weight forward arm straight. That saves years. So second lesson is understanding how to create power. So my idea of creating power was shift weight, lift arms, get the arms as high as possible, as far away from your body as possible, get wide, get really wide. It makes sense because you feel when you do this, okay, wide. I like the wide, it's broad, it's powerful. Or shift, yeah, I'm loading up this leg. Grunt. Oh, makes me feel like a man. Ugh. And then you grunt at the ball and you don't actually swing that fast doing these things. I wish I would have understood that power was not created in a straight line, but rather is created in rotation, because the golf swing's a circle. And this is the circle from the front. My left shoulder is the center of that circle. So the first part was contact, right? If I kept this weight forward and arm straight, I will strike it. There's the will. That builds confidence. Then the other side is, okay, creating power on a tilted angle. This circle is tilted. So how do we do it? We got to swing the club this way. I can't go, that's straight. I don't rotate. I need rotation. So think of somebody like DeChambeau, bombs it. Matt Fitzpatrick. You look at any great golfer. I really like DeChambeau because he's one of the longest players out there, and you see this huge emphasis on rotation, straightening the trail side. Fitzpatrick, whew, a lot of rotation, freeing up the body, circular. Put WD-40 on them hips, and it's natural. This is painful. It slows your body down. It causes injury and stress on the back, hips, and knees. This opens you up. Your body's more designed to do this. It's a natural, normal move. So I wish I would have learned to create rotation. And the way that I get golfers to do that is I talk to them about swinging the club around their body, inward. We think about the hands in. We think about, okay, if that's the tilted circle, swing the shoulders back to the top, allow my knee to straighten here, and allow the hips to turn. All of a sudden, I've created this wound up rotational amount of power. I'm actually storing stuff here. I'm not storing anything here. You know, trying to hit something like this, I can't swing fast. It actually slows you down. If you swing in the direction where you're moving, it's slower. You ever think about when you want to snap a whip, that type of speed that comes from a whip? You actually have to stop the whip and recoil it for the snap to happen. There's a whip there. So I get the hands moving in, get the shoulders turning around my body. I keep my head in place, and as I turn the shoulders back the other way, because I'm not moving in the direction of the swing, it has the effect of cracking a whip. Slowest way to swing, fastest way to swing. You hear the whip out there? I'll try and swing with the sway, with my suede. And it's slower because I have to figure out how to either time up contact, and also I don't have the whip effect. But then if I swing without a sway, I allow the whip effect to take place just by keeping my head in place. Oh, full release of power through the ball. Does it work with the driver? I wouldn't be here if it didn't work with the driver. I wouldn't be here. I hope those people are safe on the other end of the range. So we're gonna aim a little bit away from them. Does it work with the driver? Tell me. There's a lot of speed in there, and I get pumped up to hit it like that. Now I had a, you know, if I sway with the driver, I can't hit it solid. So I gotta stay centered as best as possible. The club just slingshots through the ball, accessing rotational power. That's how I can swing shorter and actually hit it farther. I know my swing might be a little longer, but I could go shorter and still get tons of speed because I can get a ton of shoulder turn with a short backswing by doing these keys. Rotation. So straight line and up, restrictive. Rotation. Deeper. In. Whatever you want to call it. That is awesome. Deeper into the pool in this way. And then we go into lesson number 3, the other big lesson I wish I would have learned. Saved me hours and hours and maybe years of frustration is club face. Because you can't play great golf just hitting it far. You got to hit it straight and far. So this comes down to a few things. Having a good relationship with the ball and understanding that this face needs to remain square throughout the entire swing. So we have it set up square at address. Now I actually got it set up a little open. I describe more reasons why in the Segudo.golf online golf school. We're just trying to hit a push draw here. Ball start right and curve back to the target. But just thinking of it as square. I want to keep this face constant. So as I swing back, pay attention to this angle. You see that? Wherever the ball starts is a result of this. So where this points, the ball starts. So right now, it's pointing that way. First part of my swing. You see me tilted to the ground, so it looks closed, right? It's not. Because the path of the swing is here at this point. So what you're actually seeing is the face still has the same look as it did at address. It's the same as this. I'm just now, watch, tilted. See, look at that. It's the same. Got to change our perspective. As I continue back, keeping this constant, the top, it's still the same there. Now watch, I'm going to take this back to address, get rid of the tilt. Still the same as I was here. Then, as I start down, still the same. As I get into impact, where are we again? Oh, how did I do that? It's magic. Magic, I tell you. It's not magic. We're square. Ball starts. Where do you want it? Assuming you want to hit it down the middle. Where you want it. You would have thought that you found the fountain of youth right there. Almost like Jack Nicholson come in with a "Here's Johnny." It's like the secrets of the golf swing are behind the bathroom door that Johnny's smashing in with his axe. That's what it feels like when you uncover all this stuff. You cut through the BS. Here's Johnny. So how do we get this to work out the way it should? We think about not changing my hands during the swing. Because if any time I rotate my hands, oh, I'm screwing up this club face. If at any time I rotate my hands, it's open. Now it's not the same. Look, not the same. Or if I go down the other way, not the same. You got to keep tilt to the ground for this to work. Because if I swing back and I keep tilt, I keep it the same. But if I lose tilt, oh, look, it's more open. So we're looking at the club face staying square. It stays square because of tilt, and it stays square because I'm not manipulating my hands. So what I would do to keep the face square is I keep my tilt to the ground, and I tell my hands to shut up. So I'm going to keep my spine tilted down, and I'm going to keep the hands quiet. My swing is powered by the shoulders. And you would have thought that it's magic. It's straight again. And it's on the center. Life lessons that would save 10,000 years and counting off of golfers all over the world. And that's what's going on in the Segudo.golf online golf school. I show you step by step how to build this machine. You know, these things are must-dos. You have to learn how they all work together to create them, and that's what I teach in that golf school. I've got a free mini course as well to get you started on this at go.segudo.golf. So I believe you can understand the golf swing. You don't have to be an expert. You could be just some average Joe out there who comes out to this range maybe once or twice a week, who wants to play golf with their buddies every Saturday, and you can enjoy playing great golf without the stress of keeping up with the Joneses in your swing, with keeping up with the next tip. I can't wait for the next new thing to come out. There's nothing new here. That's the big discovery. However long physics and geometry has been around, forever, there's nothing new here. It's just that it's more eye-opening if you have an open mind.